They're talking about Andrew Tate getting deplatformed. Andrew Tate is ducking me. He will not. He will not fight me kickboxing. Okay, just like the U.S. government is ducking me because I toppled your country, Joe Rogan, 8 years ago. Of course, just you're ducking me, Joe, because I ended America and I sound like a kook, right? That's weird. But I mean, look at what's transpired since I toppled America. A bunch of tyranny, a bunch of overreach, trying to get down your pants, okay? Trying to bend you over so you'll take 1 trillion vaccines in your buttocks, Joe Rogan. You know that. If you toppled America 8 years ago and had a non-violent revolution instead of kinetic, this is what it would look like, okay? You'd have a dilapidated West Coast that got charred with Raytheon laser beams, and they would call it climate change, and then Joe Rogan would ignore you on his podcast and evade talking about Adam Brisbine and talk about Andrew Tate instead, right? Some kind of injected stooge like you and Alex Jones. They have to inject somebody to co-opt the alternative truth movement, okay? So, and they can wave an American flag. Alex and Joe Rogan can wave their American flag 8 years after America collapsed, right? And talk about Andrew Tate instead of Adam Brisbine, okay? We can talk about Magnus Carlsen ducking me at chess too, okay? With chess boxing, right? I invented new rules for chess. I am inventing new rules for life. Okay? You can't continue to have national conflict. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. You can't have the UN Security Council come together and expect anything progressive. That's just too much. Okay? You consolidate leadership, and what's the big elephant in the room? Oh, leadership in the household. Women run roughshod over the man in the household. That's the elephant in the room. We live in a loveless society where essentially none of the women care who the fuck you think you are. Okay? And it's a loveless society filled with female narcissists. Okay? And we have the incel god, Jordan Peterson, getting attacked. No, actually, I am the incel god as the world's smartest, sexiest man in history. As the true alpha male, there's only one alpha male, Adam Brisbine, the guy that everybody in MMA is ducking. Okay? The guy that even the U.S. military is fucking afraid of. Okay? Because, hey, when I toppled your country 8 years ago, I consolidated every military in the world. So I command every military now, even the U.S. military. And if you're not obeying my orders and ending national conflict, hey, you're part of the problem. Okay? Ignoring me is part of the problem. Talking about Andrew Tate instead of Adam Brisbine is part of the problem. Talking about America instead of Cascadia is part of the problem, Joe Rogan. You're part of the problem. You're ducking talking about manism. Okay? There's only one guy talking about manism after feminism, Adam Brisbine. Okay? There's only one guy who has coined educator narcissism, the reason why you won't listen to me, Adam Brisbine. Okay? There's only one guy smarter than all of you, Adam Brisbine. Okay? So I'm smarter than Joe. I'm smarter than Andrew Tate. I'm smarter than Magnus Carlsen. I'm smarter than Jordan Peterson. I can't say I'm smarter than Tesla, hardly. But hey, I invented free energy twice this year. You'd think that would amount to something more than a hill of beans when there's all this talk about climate crisis. And the truth of the situation is, you had guys innovating for years, okay? We had Stanley Meyer drive across America on 18 gallons of water, okay, in the 80s. And they buried that story. They buried that guy literally. And then they went business as usual, because who really matters in this world? Big oil, big nuclear. And they don't fucking care if you invent free energy, okay? Coal doesn't fucking care if you invent free energy. You see what I'm up against? I'm up against big players. Big fucking players. Not little guys. The biggest, okay? Innovation can be your own death sentence, right? Being somebody smart and intelligent, hey, that might get under somebody's skin. The majority of you are all feminists. Even as a man, you're a feminist, right? Because, hey, you're calling rape bad, okay? Right out of the box, you're a feminist. That's sexist. Hey, that's something that's even racier than Andrew Tate. Who's this guy on the mic talking? Racier than Andrew Tate. And they're not talking about him. No, they're talking about Andrew Tate because he's less racy than I am. Okay? He didn't topple the U.S. government. He didn't consolidate every military in the world. Andrew Tate is just some showboat with a Bugatti. Okay? They inject some showboat with a Bugatti talking about men's rights and shit, pretending to be a manist. Hey, Andrew Tate will not fucking fight me in a kickboxing match. He doesn't want to lose. Okay? Guys like this won't be on the same screen as me because he'll lose in the debate, or he'll look like he's less of an alpha male than me. Okay? All these men are in a pissing contest with me. They're all trying to be better than me. So what can they do? They can't beat me, but they can omit me. They can pretend like Adam Brisbine doesn't exist, whether it's the government or a man in a pissing contest for sexuality, right? But why would you want to appeal to these women? You don't. Why would you fucking want to appeal to them? They're all narcissists. They're never gonna love you, no matter who you become in life, no matter how rich you get, no matter how good your character is, no matter how good of a father you are. I was the best father. And what happened? I was denied my 2 children. I was denied my second child with the next girl. Pregnant with my girl, she's calling the cops on me because women love power more than love in relationships and family. They have all been passive aggressive this entire time, waiting to get the upper hand on men. Okay? And you realize, as first king of the continent, as the true alpha male of the world, the only guy actually establishing dignity for men on this planet, the only guy upholding basic rights for the last 250 years, when we've dehumanized human life itself for the feminist gynocracy that is one-sided, that puts man in a cage for mate selection, that has authority over life and death when they shouldn't, when they should have never acclimated abortion. Hey, they called it women's rights. Okay? They put a cozy name on it. They even said rights next to it. When there's only basic rights, that means the child gets to live. There's an unalienable right to life. So if you condone abortion as a beta cuck blue pillar like Joe Rogan or Zach De La Roca, who you think are like smart guys, or revolutionary rapper, okay? Well, when you fail to understand the basic foundation of America like that, Joe Rogan, I get to topple your country. 8 years ago, according to Thomas Jefferson in the Declaration of Independence. So you get to catch up with me. I'm not chasing after any Andrew Tates or Joe Rogans for a hero. Okay? I have no fucking heroes. All my heroes are dead people. Okay? My dead brother, who was cooler than all you fucks. Okay? I don't have anybody to look up to that's alive. Just myself. Because none of you did the right thing. None of you toppled America 8 years ago. No. And what happens? You get walked all the fuck over by women in the government. Okay? And you have no dudes to talk to. You have no support from dudes because they're all beta white knight, blue pillar, virtue signalers trying to get down women's pants, trying to be good with the sisterhood that condones death, that says it's okay to kill the unborn. That's okay if you're a Nazi feminist who has no appreciation for human life, for the sanctity of life, right? And you want to write it off as if I'm a Christian zealot? No, I'm just a guy who understands the Declaration of Independence. Okay? And you want to write off the king of the incels? Well, I can beat you all in a debate. I can beat you all in MMA. I can nuke your capital if you're an asshole. Okay? So what happens is just no women are strong enough to maintain a good long-term relationship. They're all full of their narcissism and cancel culture. Hey, because a narcissist loves to discard, okay? She has a list of reasons why you're not good enough. As a narcissist, you're trying to appeal to a narcissist as a man? No. You quit approaching women in a feminist gynocracy where men get put in a cage for life for mate selection. You don't approach women as a man. What kind of beta cuck virtue signaler is approaching women in a feminist gynocracy, a one-sided government that hates men, that feels men are competition to the government, right? There's a reason why they call it child support and play God with words when it's actually extortion from the father, right? They have a carrot on a stick to break up the family unit at home as the government. To call it child support. Child support. When you get rid of that original father. And science, not the government, science says that getting rid of that original father is bad. Okay? So science and the government don't agree on parenting. Okay? The government thinks it's good to have a carrot on a stick, money, to break up the family at home. And science says no, you would actually have a carrot on a stick to keep the family together. Do you see? So everything's about devaluing men, devaluing the man, send him off to war for some corrupt, undeclared war, undeclared by Congress, and we'll just make men cannon fodder to a fraudulent war on terrorism. And we'll have our little scapegoat, Osama bin Laden, and pay CNN to have a magical interview with Osama bin Laden while we have paid actors standing around him with machine guns to bolster the image that he's this terrorist so that we can all fight against terrorism together and demolish the World Trade Center, right? With controlled demolition. What the fuck? You have to have a government you can trust. Not a government that tells you a phony story in the biggest shooting next to Wounded Knee at Mandalay Bay, okay? When you have a machine gunner from a helicopter mow down a country concert in America, you don't notice? It was Paddock in the window. They're Patsy. Okay? There's shady stuff going on in America. There's mass shootings from helicopters mowing down country concerts. And we're just all in shock and awe. Okay? As long as they have the public in shock and awe, you're easy to manage. Okay? As long as the public is paranoid about something, a fake pandemic, right? Some kind of thing to keep you in fear mode, you can easily be controlled. You can easily be manipulated. So study power and manipulation. If you want to have power, right? I study power and manipulation, okay? Right? You're all evil fucks who don't deserve power. That's what I found out. And the women are narcissists who don't love men. And you can prove that with the hair test. Ask your woman to shave her narcissism off her head. See her response. This is science now. Women don't love men. That's the Genghis Khan effect, okay? By default. So that's going to lead to a population collapse when you have exclusively male mate selection, alienated, now it's exclusively female for a feminist gynocracy, and male mate selection is bad man, procreating. Okay, when the rest of nature, men aren't put in a cage, males are not put in a cage for choosing their mate. And you just have to wonder what would happen. What would happen to society, right? If the government just was out of the picture. Okay, well, you still have to uphold basic rights. There still has to be some government if you start a new government, right? So you all have a right to life. What's that mean? It means that cops can't blow your brains out. It means women can't be aborting their children. That's wrong. It means that execution's banned. Okay? You have to be nicer to killers or you're no better. As a judge, there's no judges like that. Okay? If you killed somebody and the government finds out, you get isolated from the rest of the public, okay? But you live like a normal person. That's the difference. There is mercy, and a middle way, there is solutions. There are solutions. Correct myself. Jeez. See, you're all supposed to be correcting me if I'm ever wrong, because I represent the noocracy, okay? But I'm never wrong. And you're just not listening. You're not enforcing or upholding the government at all. And what is enforcement? Okay? Law enforcement is just upholding basic rights now because you want freedom now. Okay? You don't want laws, rules. You want freedom and liberty. So you, as the government, your role is to establish basic rights first. The right to life. Essentially, people aren't killing each other. Okay? You have a way to deal with people killing each other. I have a robot that abducts the killer. Okay? You see, after that, it's all about securing liberty so that you all have freedom. But there's a caveat with that. I still have to look after public safety in regards to what the public is doing to the environment, okay? And what other concerns the environment might have for the people, okay? So what this means is security has to be taken with a grain of salt, so you don't have this overarching police state, right? So when it comes to security, okay, I secure the safety of the continent kinetically. When it comes to national conflict, I've done that by consolidating national military leadership, and I've done that by ending national conflict in general by doing so, okay? Beyond that, what if nations just decide to ignore the world army? Okay, well, hey, I have a way of dealing with that, process of elimination. Who is the one being an asshole, right? I'm the world army. Don't you think I can deal with assholes? A rogue nation who wants to be an asshole? Even if it's the United States, okay? We can topple the United States. I've already done that intellectually. You don't have to do it kinetically. That's what I'm saying. I didn't have a civil war when you guys tried to instigate one. You guys tried to bring it on because you're so big and badass with your military, right? You'll try and fucking get me to fight with you. And that's what women do in the household as well. Women, they want you to fucking fight. Okay? If you fight with your woman, right? Women have the power to take your kids away. You see? So like guys are put in check with their women at home more than they are with the government, right? I can topple the government. I cannot get my woman to be a good woman though. You see? I cannot get my woman to be a good mother. No. You think you can do that? You can topple the U.S. government, but you can't do that. You can't get your woman to keep her legs together. Can't do that. Because the government's on your ass. If you physically put your woman in check, hey, don't fucking screw the town. I'm gonna give you a spanking. See, the sisterhood in the government and the feminist gynocracy would suddenly swoop in. You're spanking your girl for screwing the town? She can do that. Don't you know? Don't you know she can be a floozy? Don't you know she can break apart the family? She gets to do that. That's freedom. You see? So you can't be a man. You can't be the man of the house. You can't keep your woman in check. So you might as well just have all the women wearing strap-ons, because that's the world we're living in. It's just a bunch of female narcissists with strap-ons waiting to butt-fuck the next dude they can for his dignity, ready to abort his child, to fucking laugh about it with the sisterhood, to divorce that guy, that famous guy with all that money. They can't wait to fucking ditch that guy. Right? They can't wait to make Andrew Tate look small, right? If you're king of the continent, doing the right thing for once in history, the women can't fucking wait to make you look small when they should want to be a queen next to me, when they should have my back, you see, when they should want to be a good mother, when they should want to be loyal to me, to build a proper family, instead of a fucking phone in their pocket all the fucking time, right? Not good enough for me and my narcissism. Swipe, 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 swipe. You see, you're not gonna be good enough. There's no man who's ever gonna be good enough for any of these narcissists. Your relationship might last this long. You were lucky. You were lucky, okay? The lucky ones, statistically, according to science, were the ones who had their magical high school crush that they fell for. They got married after high school and had babies and never cheated on each other. Those are the happy ones, not the ignorant American Jerry Springer sluts. Nope, not the red pillar chads. Nope, they aren't happy. In fact, the red pillar chads are less and less and less and less happy, you find. Even if they get to have sex, right? The most, that 20% of men that get to have sex, right? When 100% of women get to have sex, they're oblivious to the fact that only 2 out of 10 guys get to have sex because of their narcissism. They have not looked at that, okay? Women are not looking at the fact that they're all taken and there's only scraps for all men, you see? Imagine what it's like in China after the one-child policy with all those men trying to get with women. It must be hard. It must be hard when half the population can't get a girl, you see. The problem, and the more narcissism that is condoned in the public sphere, and the more influence these women have that demonize the king of the incels, Adam Brisbine, the sexiest, smartest man that ever lived, the guy that hasn't had sex for 2.5 years, the MGTOW monk, right? The black pillar. When they're done demonizing me, they're just lonely cat ladies at the end of the day, right? As they get older, the older they get, they're being discarded. The older they get, the women, you realize, and the men are starting to get higher value the older they get. Isn't that weird? That's so weird. But this is the way the shit works, okay? You have all these men going after the scraps that are left, like the women who were not taken, okay? In what's left of the single women, all narcissists who are too good for you, too smug. They are smug as shit. And the more educated they are, the higher their education, the higher their narcissism, the more they're too good for you. Okay? You got a little brat who never grew up socially, who doesn't accept men, right? The majority of women, like 90%, okay, just view men as disgusting. It's funny as shit. So you have a sex, an entire gender that is just deterred by the opposite sex. And that is a deterrence for us too. Like, hey, that sucks. Like none of you like us. That we can't ever be good enough for you. Well, that's what raw capitalism did. Okay, I blame raw capitalism because, hey, look, it's put money above every fucking thing in life. Money above character and humor. Okay? Money above charisma. Okay? So the women are just dinglebats. Dinglebats. Money is everything, and all they're looking at is their own tits and their hair. And money is everything. So there's nothing to date. There's no one in there. There's no one to talk to. You have a vessel that can generate offspring. Your offspring, right? I'm the world's smartest man, and I cannot procreate with the opposite sex in a feminist gynocracy where it's one-sided mate selection, where I have to coddle to a feminist to mate. Okay? I out all of them, so they hate me. Okay? That's the Lisa Simpson effect. Smart guys are hated because the truth comes out. Women actually don't like smart guys because they want a dumb guy that can manipulate, a dumb guy that they can cheat on. See? They want you to be a good, dumb provider, worker slave. Okay? Kiss my feet. Lick my pussy. Give me all your money and bank account and status. Okay. You're not gonna get her to appreciate you as a father. Okay? Because everything is about her. So it's good for women to learn about frame and for men to learn about frame. If you want to get with a masculine guy, if you want to get with a father type, a long-term relationship, high-quality guy, you have to give up some of your feminist bullshit. As a woman, you have to get that chip off your shoulder and actually be good to your guy for once. Okay? It's not rocket science. I am the leader in rocket science, okay? They're still building big rockets when we've had the Raccoon for years. We should have been launching at high altitude for years. So relationships, the women don't love men. The women aren't doing any fucking effort to appreciate or even spend time with men. The women are just draining all men. The women are like succubus who just drain the men of their dignity and their soul and their power. Okay? And the children are suffering and crying while you all have your gangbangs and incest co-coring bullshit that you do after you get rid of the original father with a legion of cops. You get to be a great fucking example for my kids and toss them into an indoctrination center, school of the former U.S. government that I toppled 8 years ago. And they get to have a great fucking father figure. Joe Biden as their father now. The pedophile president that fucking doesn't fucking care about you and who's getting you into World War III. That's fucking great. That's the American way. Run roughshod over the dad, kill freedom, and put you all in a dangerous situation, into a global conflict, and to fucking damn the environment, and to fucking run scorched earth policy over every fucking thing, from parenting to leadership in every fucking way. So just, what's the answer? What's the answer? I'm a solutions guy, right? Start a new country, right? Give dignity back to men. Actually listen to me. I'm king of the continent, right? Women can't accept a king. You see, Americans cannot accept a king because King George. See, we're standing apart from tyrannical kings. Well, what if it's a king that's upholding the foundation of America that you didn't understand for 2.5 centuries? What if it's the philosopher king, the guy who understands, Chief Seattle, that we don't own the land, that we share the land, you dumb fuck genocidal white American imperialist, right? How can you communicate to your average neurotypical American that property doesn't exist anymore? That female mate selection is not necessarily ethical, to have it exclusively. Because, population collapses are bad. Okay? When 80% of the men are not getting mated with, not getting dated, okay? That's teetering towards population collapse, don't you think? So we've given the narcissist exclusive mate selection. Narcissists who, according to science, don't even love the opposite sex, don't care about the opposite sex. That's bad, guys. There's a reason nature has it as intended, even with humans. And when we try to inject all our rules and our phony logic into the the machinations of society, that's going to lead to its own destruction. Okay? Because look, the leader of the free world is talking to you right now. He's the most socially isolated person. He's the most socially compartmentalized person. He's the most devalued father on the planet. Okay? That's the realization, right? The good guy, the only ethical adult left. When our parents' generation was nothing but landlords being cannibalistic with their own children, the only guy that has any coherent value as a human being left is just deduced and shat upon. Well, hey, of course you're going to do that. You love power. You love power. You like to look cool for society, for your chatterbox crowd. You like to look cool for your group. You like to make fun of somebody. You need a scapegoat to make fun of. You need somebody to call king of the incels. Right? Because you're a narcissist. You have to have sardonic twit humor instead of genuine humor that makes people laugh. You have to make fun of males. You have to make fun of masculine men. when you can't fight for shit as a woman, you cannot fight me in the arena for shit, ladies. Okay? I will line you up, single file, to test your kung fu. I will line you up to test you, to see if you're a trustworthy person. You fail, you fail, you fail. And here, we're going to line you up on the high beam, and I'm going to knock you all into the water, where all your arguments flop, where your kung fu flops. When you realize we've coddled the opposite sex, we've coddled women to be weak. We've coddled them to have weak kung fu. Okay? When if you were proactive and you wanted to defend yourself against rape, ladies, you couldn't fucking do it. Because you made yourselves believe that cops were the answer. That putting men in a cage after the fact is the answer. Nope, you're pregnant right now with your rapist baby. And you didn't have good kung fu for shit. Because all you did was ratted on men all your life. Right? You're a dumb, weak American. You're an evil cunt who likes to kill the unborn. You like to kill the baby of a good guy. That's what you like to do. You like to cheat on the good guy. 'Cause your evil friends will fucking laugh. Right? So none of your relationships have value. All your friendships with women and your relationships are finite. You know why? Because a narcissist eventually is going to cancel. A narcissist is eventually going to discard. If the entire US government is a narcissist, it's going to discard Adam Brisbine for being the world's smartest man. Because, hey, I get on your nerves. I toppled your government for not doing your shit right. You didn't understand your own foundation for 250 years. And I called you on it. And I wove my flag. And I got my own passport. And I wrote a book about why. And you didn't read it because you're a dumb American who's a know-it-all. You think you know about reality, and you don't. You don't. You're a talking head. You're a Joe Rogan. I talk to everybody intelligent on the earth, but I still don't understand that America doesn't exist anymore 8 years after the fact. I still don't understand that human life has value, that human life matters. And Joe just got confused regarding liberty. He's a proponent of liberty, just like I am, right? We all want to be the champion of liberty, but you didn't understand yet. First, you uphold the right to life because it's unalienable. The government can't take away your right to life. They can't execute you. Women can't abort their baby. Cops can't blow your brains out. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan!